come with us for the first part of our island road trip to County Cork, where we start outside the city centre in the picturesque fishing town of Kinsale. Known for its colourful houses and vibrant restaurant scene, Kinsale is a foodie's heaven and must do on any itinerary, before then heading to the historic Charles Fort with sweeping views over Kinsale Harbour. And lastly, before heading to Cork City Centre, we visit a secluded cove off the tourist trail. So come explore the Cork countryside with us. We flew into Cork for a long weekend direct from London Heathrow, but can also be easily combined with a trip to Dublin, the direct train that takes about 3 hours. But on arrival, we headed to the end of the terminal to the car hire desks to collect our pre-booked vehicle, something I would recommend to guarantee availability, as we plan to explore the local countryside. However, if just staying in the city centre is only a short taxi ride away. Our first stop was a 30-minute drive due south along relatively wide roads for Ireland along the estuary to the popular and picturesque coastal town of Kinsale. And upon arriving into the main street, there is a car park on the left and off-street parking. However, I recommend you go left and left again towards the marina, where you'll find a quieter car park on the right just before the Acton's Hotel, which is also conveniently by the best restaurant for lunch in Kinsale, but not before a brisk walk down to the harbour to build up an appetite. Now, we had planned to explore the local estuary and harbour by car, but if exploring by water is your thing, there were no shortage of fishing trips or boat tours available, including this harbour cruise that conveniently came to dock as we were waiting. And the nautical heritage is evident throughout Kinsale, and seafood restaurants are plenty, with one of the best being Fishy Fishy. Owned and operated by renowned seafood chef Martin Shanahan and his wife Marie, Martin is somewhat of a local celebrity with TV appearances and cookbooks. And having eaten here many times over the years, cannot recommend this place enough if you like a great seafood restaurant. Belly's full, it was now time to walk lunch off by exploring the winding streets of this characterful, charming town. And as visited on a Friday daytime was somewhat quieter, with no major group coach tours or weekend visitors. Kinsale is also well known for its gastro and dining scene, with many visitors choosing to stay overnight in smaller independent hotels to fully appreciate the food scene in the evening. The town is also known for its eclectic mix of small independent shops and boutiques, plus not to mention art galleries, complementing the town's colourful and eccentric personality. None of which is more evident as you reach the centre of town, where some of the premises have collectively embraced this colourful nature, making it a perfect backdrop for your photos and your social media posts. So here we are, probably in the most recognisable part apart from the harbour of Kinsale. These are colourful shops. This is just off Market Street, not to be confused with Market Lane or Market Place. Basically everything here has market in the name just as well. It's quite small enough to just mooch around and not get lost in. Oh, and also not forgetting Market Quay. And the town has a rich history dating back as a Viking trading settlement and a medieval walled town. And some further other historic sites we were now off to explore. So having circumnavigated the whole town as very walkable, we looped back into the main street and walked down back to the main harbour front, taking in the famous view that Kinsale is known for on the way back to the car. Passing by Dino's Fish and Chip restaurant for those looking for something more traditional in a great themed harbourfront setting, or alternatively indulge in another seaside tradition.
Over here.
Got enough hands. Someone's in their happy place. So Kinsale done, nice little quaint place on the seaside, not that big, loads of gastro scene here, it's a foodie heaven here, However, we'll say that a lot of them are not open during the day. So a lot of people stay up here at night. We're decided it's probably a little bit too quiet. We want to be more in the hustle and bustle of Cork. So we'll jump in the car now, head off into Cork and head out there this evening. First, we're going to take a little stop off at Charles Fort on the way. Heading back out of town on the main road to Cork is well signposted, but take a right-hand turn at the colourful fishing boat planters you see as you enter Kinsale town. And the short drive brings you to the other side of the harbour, giving you a great vantage point to appreciate the town, but most importantly, the site of a historic fort on the prominent headland overlooking the harbour. So Kinsale Harbour right behind us here, and you'll notice on the sort of headland behind us there's also a very small fort in the distance. That's James Fort. But we've come the other side of the harbour to the more preserved and larger of the two. We are here at Charles Fort, a quite impressive star-shaped fort. Let's have a little wander around in between getting windswept. Rebuilt on the site of the Siege of Kinsale in 1601, where the British defeated the Irish and their Spanish allies. It was, however, besieged and captured again in 1690. Charles Fort is one of the best examples of a 17th century star-shaped fort. And we'll put links in the description as always. However, guided tours are available. However, we chose to just do general admission at €5 per adult and got our bearings at the entrance visitor centre. So we've just been given the lowdown on what there is to see and do around here. We're just trying to pick up the pace and get ahead of the most efficient German tour group you've ever seen in your life. It's like march or die with them. No, if you can't keep up with the group leader there, you are left behind big time. Even if you are not into military history, Charles Fort is an impressive structure and incredibly close to Kinsale town. And inside some of the restored barrack blocks, you'll find various exhibits and audio-visual elements bringing the history of the site to life. And outside you will find restored cannons and munition stores you can explore. But the highlight is without doubt the ramparts, with their elevated position, giving sweeping views back to Kinsale town and out across the harbour to the sea. And if military forts are not your thing, there are no shortage of good viewpoints around the harbour from which to appreciate these views. One of the most notable can be found at the other side of the harbour at the cliff's old head of Kinsale. Here on a headland out to sea you will find the Old Head Signal Tower and the Lusitania Memorial and Museum, recounting the tragic loss of the RMS Lusitania ocean liner to a German torpedo in World War I, with the loss of nearly 1,200 passengers. So we've gone from being windswept and pelted with rain to now actually baking in the sunshine. Welcome to Ireland. In Ireland you really do need to be prepared for all seasons, usually in the same day and usually featuring rain. Though thankfully for now the sun had come out and made the most of it, as we were not so lucky for the rest of our trip. So make sure you follow our Cork Ireland series, where we go on to explore Cork City Centre and other local attractions, including Blarney Castle, Cork Jail and the Jameson Distillery at Middleton. But for now, if you're enjoying this video, we please ask that you hit that like and subscribe buttons. It really goes a long way to supporting this channel and for us to bring you even more videos like this in the future. But with the tide going out and the light fading, we headed down some narrow country lanes that were not for the faint-hearted to squeeze in a lesser known spot off the mainstream tourist trail. I'll put links in the description to the map location, as not easy to find, but that was the appeal of Novohal Cove. This secluded spot was at the dead end of a country lane with next to no parking, and with the tide out, access was down this narrow gorge which is usually submerged, which was slippy, treacherous, not for the faint-hearted, and suitable footwear was an absolute must. That is the trail of doom we've just come down, fearing for our life. And Cork is often the starting point for the wild Atlantic way. So although we were not venturing further up the coast and focusing more on a city break, this is definitely something we want to plan for a return visit. So please leave your comments on what you would like us to feature in a future video. But now it was time to head to Cork City Centre and check in at our hotel, which was the characterful Hotel Isaacs. So make sure you subscribe to see our next video where we cover our stay in depth and its unique features, as how many hotels can say that they have a waterfall in their back courtyard. But after checking in and getting freshened up, we headed out to their more informal restaurant option for dinner at Isaacs. This rustic restaurant focused more on traditional Irish cuisine than their more upscale Greens restaurant, which we would try at breakfast. So we went with the fried brie and crab cake to start, followed by duck confit with caramelised onion and a warm chicken and bacon salad, and to finish, bread and butter pudding with creme anglaise. So all in all, a perfect end to a long travel day and where we end this video. So make sure you check out the next episode where we explore the hotel and Cork City Centre, or alternatively check out one of our other destination videos. But for now, thanks for watching and see you again soon.